2 weeks ago, my team and my club, Newark AC, ran the Midlands Road Relays, and our men's team finished in 6th place overall, which meant we qualified for the National Road Relays, which is later on today. So I'm just getting in a quick 5k easy shakeout run this morning. I was going to do it at Parkrun, but sadly Parkrun's been cancelled this morning at my local events because, well, it's incredibly windy. The wind is absolutely atrocious, and I have a tailwind behind me right now, which is nice, but I know it's going to feel horrible on the way back. But it is what it is. They have to cancel Parkrun because of all the trees and the branches flying down and stuff. They have to have the health and safety of the parkrunners at their first and foremost priority. But yeah, so parked up at Waitrose instead. I'm gonna get a chicken salad sandwich after this for my lunch. So yeah, feeling excited about later too, because I will be also on the last leg of the day. So have some work to do and see how many people we can pick off come the end. So yeah, definitely feeling excited about later. Mainly for that chicken salad sandwich from Waitrose. It's the second best chicken salad sandwich out there as part of a meal deal. Only behind the Sainsbury's one. The Sainsbury's one is delightful. But anyway, enough about chicken salad sandwiches. The road relays later is at the same place as the Midlands Road Relays, so it should be making some fun and interesting racing, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be quite as fast as the Midlands with the wind. And in terms of training, really the past 2 weeks, well, I would say overall, that's gone pretty well. I mean, last week was the peak week of training before the Yorkshire Marathon, and got in my biggest ever mileage week of about nearly 130 miles altogether, with some 3 quality sessions in there, with the Tuesday being a 6-mile tempo to right around what feels like marathon effort come the end, then 10 600s, then a 2-mile tempo. So quite a lot of volume there on Tuesday evening. And on Friday evening, a little bit similar case. This time I did 6x2k with 1k steady in between, right around marathon-ish effort. And I say in effort because I'm not training specifically for the pace. I mean, I know that theoretically my marathon pace could be like 5-10 mile pace, but realistically that's probably going to be more like 5:20, 5:25 per mile, because well, Yorkshire Marathon isn't the fastest of courses out there, as I learned from last year, and yeah, it's particularly it can get very windy, a bit like today. I can definitely slow the race down. And on Sunday was probably the biggest workout of the week, involving a 41k long run altogether, with a good chunk of that just a little bit slower than marathon pace, and the kind of from mile 18 to, or mile 20 to 24, that was right around marathon sort of effort, so right around 5:20 per mile pace. And yeah, well, I say that one went really well. Definitely felt strong, practiced fueling and felt good. But yeah, last week it was a bit too much training, so much so in fact my calf's told me at the start of this week, you're gonna have to rest. So hopefully you can hear me over this stupendously strong wind I'm now running back into. But anyway, yeah, so earlier this week, well, on Sunday I'd say, yeah, my calf was a little bit sore after the run, and it was just telling me that this feels a bit like a muscle strain here. We need to take things easy now. And muscle strains out there are probably the one injury I recommend to everyone never ever run through, because with muscle strains, particularly minor muscle strains where just feel like a very specific part of your muscle is a little bit tight, a little bit sore, then you just run on it, you'll damage the muscle more, and it'll take even longer to recover, and it'll just get worse. And that's from personal experience for me. I've done it before, it's never ended well. Instead of just taking a couple days off and then returning to running, pretty much later on that week, if I push through it, it could mean I'm out for 2 weeks, 3, 4, 6 weeks. And well, it's much better to take 3 days off than be out for 6 weeks. So yeah, this week definitely be one of my lowest mileage weeks, probably of the year, given I didn't run on Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday. Just had those 3 back-to-back rest days. I did do quite a bit of walking on those days, and I probably could have ran on the Wednesday, but I wanted to just play it safe. And Thursday I did 30-minute easy run, pain-free, so I knew I was feeling a lot better. I could have done more, but decided 30 minutes is enough. And then yesterday I did, well, an hour easy and some strides, and that all felt good. So I knew that come today, well, I'll probably feel a little bit fresh for the race, to be honest. But I knew I'd be okay. So if I can do strides, an hour run pain-free, then I can do a 5k, 6k run. Even if it may be quite a fast pace, you know, my body should be able to handle it. And generally when it comes to returning to injury, I think the best call of action is do a 30-minute run the first day, then a 45-minute to an hour run the next day, then an hour run with some strides. And if you do an hour run with some strides, then you know you're going to definitely be okay to resume your normal training. Now, in terms of kind of what's caused this calf injury, well, I think it's just doing a little bit too much. Last week was a lot of volume, and I don't think I was getting enough recovery with the teaching training. I probably wasn't getting enough sleep as I probably should have done, and yeah, it's just a little bit too much stress on the body and not enough recovery. But I think the big thing that kind of really sparked it off was, yeah, on Friday I went to the gym, had to kind of rush my gym session because by the time I got done with the session it was 30 minutes till closing time for the gym I went to. So I probably just skip the gym in general. And looking back, my calf would have probably been okay if I did this, because I just did, well, a gym session that normally takes 15 minutes in 30 minutes, rushed the plyometrics, rushed the exercises, and yeah, just put too much strain on my calf. And Saturday, you know, I did feel some soreness in my calf. I thought, oh, might have to keep an eye on that, but I didn't think too much of it until kind of after Sunday, when yeah, it was definitely a lot worse. So definitely should have kept things a little bit easier at the back end of last week for sure. But kind of even before Friday's run, the warning signs and symptoms are all there. Let's put the gate back, there we are. Yeah, the warning signs and symptoms were all there even before Saturday, because I mean, like, both on Friday and Tuesday sessions in the evening, I was having some gut problems mid-session. I had to stop for the toilet at least once, if not twice, each session, which, you know, is not a sign that maybe I'm physically fatigued, but my body is just generally fatigued, and biggest of all, metabolically fatigued. I'm not able to meet the energy requirements for my body, so my metabolism is just, well, kaput basically. I'm struggling to keep up with the energy demands on a daily basis, which is a big sign that the recovery is lacking. So the 3 rest days earlier this week, I'd say it's definitely just been that good reset. Oh, this wind, I'm gonna absolutely hate this wind later. It's a piece of massive baloney. Anyway, yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, the 3 rest days, you know, I'm kind of glad I had them, because my body feels so much better as a result of it, and I just feel like that reset was certainly needed. And I won't have lost any fitness in 3 days of not running. You don't lose fitness that quickly, especially when I was still doing, you know, at least 3, 4, 5 miles of walking each day. You don't lose fitness like that. Yeah, it doesn't take until at least a full week off of like no exercise before you start to really lose fitness. But even then, it's minuscule, and it just kind of like increases after that point. But anyway, it's not like we're unfit at all. We're definitely carrying so much fitness through, well, all the weeks and months of the past training block. So yeah, definitely the rest days have certainly helped me rather than hindered me. I do feel a lot more fresher in the training. Feel like my legs are starting to come round again. But anyway, we're at Waitrose now. Time to get that chicken salad sandwich and get back home and get ready for the relays later. See you then. Got the sandwich, the chicken salad sandwich in the Waitrose bag. Cool bag actually inside of the, well, the spare clothes, because I think I'm going to need it today. It looks like it's going to absolutely pelt it down with rain, and it's pretty cold. This wind It's yeah, this is like pretty much the conditions I had for the Yorkshire Marathon last year, where it's pretty much 20-mile-an-hour winds, freezing rain throughout the whole race. But yeah, it's going to be a challenging conditions today, that's for sure. And in terms of that kind of shoe choice for today, I've opted for the Adios Pro 4s. If you can hear me over the wind, that is. Well, I should probably give it a second. Yeah, so I've opted for the Adios Pro 4s. I mean, I wore the Adios Pro 3s last time. I just want to see how the Pro 4s do over the shorter distances, because I've only taken them for the Basing and Bash as kind of a shorter distance race, and I just want to see how they feel. I mean, I think the Pro 4s are a lot faster than the Pro 3s. That's the Adidas Pro 3s and 4s. I still think the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3s are slower than the Pro 4s too. But yeah, I just think because of that lighter, little bit bouncier foam, it will just feel better to run in. But I mean, I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. So as you probably just heard there from my teammate Rob, I was in 24th place come the start of my leg. And so the whole goal here was to try and overtake as many people as I possibly could and try and put my team as highest position as we possibly could in the national road relays. And so really I'm just focusing on trying to pick off as many people as I can here, make sure to go out hard. You can see I'm running pretty fast on the slight downhill section right here, getting into, well, below 420 mile pace. This did come back to bite me a little bit, particularly on this uphill section into the wind, because it hit me a lot harder than it did 2 weeks ago. And I definitely think that the rest days earlier in the week certainly helped my legs feel fresher, but I hadn't ran this hard, well, in a while. And that hole in that red line today definitely felt it. So we'll just fast forward a bit here until we get to kind of that first mile split. So coming up on that first mile split, it's been about 4:52, pretty much the same time as I did 2 weeks ago, which was probably a lot harder than 2 weeks ago actually, because even that was probably into the headwind for the most part. And this section, yeah, it's definitely tough. It's always the toughest part of the road relay segment. And actually, just here in just a second, there is a familiar face just in the distance here. Because here in the blue, we have no other than Jonathan Escalante Phillips, my fellow fastest teacher in the world rival. He won up me at Great North Run, and yeah, he had a cracking performance today as part of the Cambridge and Coleridge team, who actually, their team did win the road relays. So yeah, kudos. So yeah, really at this point, I was really just trying to focus on getting up the top of this hill. It's about as fast as I could, but I knew it was starting to hurt a little bit more than it was last week, or not last week, 2 weeks ago even. And yeah, just really focus on trying to pick off more and more people. So we'll fast forward for the next part of the race.
So approaching just the 2 mile mark on the course, you can see how much the trees are moving in the background here. They are moving a lot. It's very windy, and that pass section, just this past like 0.2 of a mile or so, really felt it into the headwind. And this bit here, definitely working into the headwind here. The pace has definitely dropped a little bit from it had done, and I was really starting to feel the burn, the lactic in my legs. And yeah, really just focusing just before that turnaround point now, just still trying to hold it together, and then just being able to, well, try and see if we can pick off any more people now. I'm definitely overtaken a few people on the way to here. I think I'm in the top 20 at this point, so it's now time to see how much we can get inside that top 20 for the team, and probably keep an eye on that guy there, because he's the person I'm definitely going to try and catch later on in this race. So definitely was feeling it going around that turnaround point. Did not go around that very quickly. And so now it's just a matter of, well, just relaxing and just holding it together for the next mile or so, and just using the downhill to my advantage. Now this is just why I was a little bit careful on this downhill, because I didn't want to go absolutely, what's the word I want to use here? Didn't want to absolutely full send it, because I was still a little bit iffy with my car, so I wanted to make sure I did have that kind of 1% speed left in the tank, I suppose, but just still go fast regardless. And I was finding actually the Pro 4s really at these really top end speeds, they weren't as good as the Adidas Pro 3s. The Pro 3s just felt better at the very, very top end and trying to run as fast as possible. Pro 4s just felt a little mushy, but for cruising, they felt amazing. So yeah, I did this segment a little bit slower than I did 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago I split like 4:30 through that mile. This mile split I split closer to like 4:35 or so. A little bit slower there, and my second mile was a bit slower too. But I still went through this strong. And as we approached the finish, we were just not far from the finish. Overtook one more person there. Was that woman? I can't tell, but yeah, I really tried to focus on seeing if I could try and catch this guy even further, try and put us into an extra top spot, but sadly it was not meant to be, and we ended up finishing 17th overall. So yeah, overall not a bad day. We did a really solid performance as a team, definitely the best we've ever done over the years at the National Road Relay, so definitely more to come in future years.
So overall, that was a fairly successful day. Car's feeling alright now, just on the cool down. I suppose that's a big positive. And yeah, still ran, well, I think within 10-15 seconds of the time 2 weeks ago, so yeah, that's solid. And I would say those 10-15 seconds slower today, well, probably down to multiple factors. I think the big ones, obviously the wind today, the wind made it a lot harder than it did for me kind of compared to last time, although it wasn't too bad, but it certainly had an effect. But I think probably the biggest one was, well, last week's training. Even though I've had 3 rest days this week, it's definitely in the system and definitely in the body. And I mean, last Sunday's long run was a hard long run, and yeah, any kind of hard long run like that 6 days out from a race is always gonna be in the legs. And lastly, kind of with the rest days this week, it's kind of meant that probably that little bit of sharpness isn't quite there. I found it today compared to 2 weeks ago. It just felt harder when I got to that red line than it did last time. And I suppose this time I didn't probably have as much competition to catch towards the end of the race, because they're all a little bit too far ahead. So yeah, I think today definitely a very positive day altogether. It's always good, just get out there, have fun, and get a good race in now and again. So it's now, well, the next race on the calendar will be the Yorkshire Marathon in 2 weeks and 1 day time. Although I did sign up for the Lincoln Half Marathon this year, that's before I knew when the National Road Relays was. And I do think I'll be doing the Lincoln Half tomorrow. That would just not be a wise decision with how my legs are feeling. So I'll probably just do an easy long run, if anything. So yeah, feeling good and feeling confident with the marathon 2 weeks away. Now, big shout out to the old roommate, Jacob Can, fastest leg of the day today for the National Road Relay. So big kudos to him. And a very fast leg, of course. Calling it now, Cannon Book LA 2028. The dream team will be back for some action in the great old state of California. But anyway, I think that's really all I have to say for today's race vlog video. I'll probably just get finished with this cool down now. I'm going to do probably 30 minutes easy running. Just, well, get the lactic acid out of the legs, because the legs are still feeling a bit heavy after that effort, but that's not too bad. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this race vlog, and yeah, stay tuned for more videos to come. See you in the next one.